But when this one came out, and especially when Pogacar rode it on stage for the Tour de France presentation this year, and I look at it, I say, wow, I think I want to get this, right? Yeah, and especially limited edition and things like that. And so I reached out to the local distributor for Malaysia, Angi Cycle, or well, you guys probably know them as Pedal Sport. The boss was kind enough, Ben, thanks Ben, to help me get this.
Yeah. So was it like a long wait, and does it mean that you have the money to pay for it? You'll get it because it's so limited. It's like only 100, in the
yeah,
world.
that's right. They couldn't commit because it's not like normal bikes where you place an order, tell them what size, what color. This one is I don't know how they allocate it, right? So once he got allocation, he reached out to me and said, yeah, I've got one, and that's how the process.
Welcome back to Oompa Loompa Cycling, where we delve into the most captivating stories from the cycling world and the enthusiasts who bring it to life. In today's episode, I'm excited to feature Leslie, affectionately known as PogaCHONG, a dedicated fan of Tadej Pogačar. Leslie boasts an impressive collection of Colnago bicycles, including a meticulous replica of Tadej's Colnago V4 RS. Today, we shine a spotlight on a true gem in his collection, the Colnago C68 Fleur-de-Lys. Limited to just 111 pieces worldwide, this bicycle is a masterpiece of design and craftsmanship. This design unites the city of Florence, known for its red lily on a white field, with France's historical emblem of gold fleur-de-lys on blue. The frame is adorned with a special blue metal leaf, a delicate and precious process borrowed from a Tuscan luxury craftsman, enhancing its aesthetic appeal. Join us as Leslie shares the story behind acquiring this limited edition bicycle, its significance in his collection, and his passion for cycling and Colnago craftsmanship. If you enjoy my content and want to support my podcast, consider joining my Patreon. Your support helps me continue bringing you inspiring stories like Leslie's, with early access to episodes, exclusive content, and more.
Welcome back to another podcast. Today I'm here in Malaysia Velo Works, very special edition where I am here with Leslie PogaCHONG. He's a hardcore Tadej Pogačar fan. He has a lot of bikes that we will dive into, but especially we have this very limited edition Fleur de Lys Colnago C68. There's only 111 bikes made, and this is number 75. Let's welcome Leslie, welcome to the Oompa Loompa Cycling Show. We just did a B-rolls of you riding your other bike, which was the V4 RS. Maybe give us a bit of introduction about yourself, and why are you a Tadej Pogačar hardcore fan?
Okay, I picked up cycling during the lockdown. Okay, before that I was really into fishing, so couldn't travel. So I borrowed one of my younger brother's bike. It's a 1992 Cannondale hanging at my dad's house. So I say, "Are you using the bike?" He said, "No, I'm going to take it for a spin." So I took it up and rode it, and sort of fell in love with cycling. So started buying bikes, and then I saw that Tadej Pogačar won the Tour de France. Didn't know much about bikes. I said, "Oh, Colnago seems to be good," but I didn't went crazy then. I just took an entry level V3 105 mechanical, and then it's sort of like one thing led to another. So keep on buying stuff, Colnago bikes. And finally, when I went down to Singapore last year, October, I believe, where Tadej Pogačar came down for the Singapore Criterium. Yep, so managed to get a ticket to see him for the autograph session. Shout out to Emmeline, helped me get the ticket at Calvin's place, bike settlement. And when I was wearing his national jersey, the Slovenian national jersey, and when he signed here, sort of like, the whole world changed.
Electrocuted.
Yeah, so, even my daughters laugh at me. I say, "Hey, look, come on, if Taylor Swift signed on your shirt, you'll be starstruck as well, right?" Come on. So from that day onwards, I was like, very inspired by him. I saw him, really nice guy. He stayed on the whole day, signing autographs, no S, no diva kind of, stuff. So he sort of like, not only inspire kids, I guess inspire old people like me to, cycle, keep fit, stay healthy, and things like that. So one thing led to another. So each time he wins something, either PC, Mat, or DMTs, come up with something new. Guys, you gotta slow down. you guys really have to slow down.
Yeah.
I'll try and just collect it and like memorabilia and stuff like that. Yeah.
Do you think you have everything already? Anything missing in your closet?
I won't say I have everything. Obviously, certain things, they don't come up with. So, like for example, the matte helmet, the rainbow edition is not out. What else? The DMT shoes rainbow edition is not out. His latest V4RS, the rainbow one, is not out, right? So everybody's talking, why one RS? Why one RS? I say, hang on. Let me collect things that he has ridden and worn on, that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Do you think you are the only guy who has all this? Do you think there are any other hardcore fans who are?
I'm sure there's a lot of Pogacar fans out there, right? And we each have a same common, how you call it, inspiration from him, right? So each time we see somebody else having the same thing, to me, it's like a little boys club or little girls, boys and girls club kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm more than happy to meet up with all these collectors, and then we can compare notes, and maybe even put some pressure on these guys to come up with some limited edition stuff for us.
Yeah. I don't know how long is Pogacar's contract with UAE? 5 years.
He got renewed 5, I think. 5,
Okay,
yeah.
so at least you'll be rest assured that
Yeah.
your bikes will be here for the next 5 years. Imagine if he goes to a different team and the brands all change. What are you gonna do with all this? You gotta rechange your whole inventory again.
Yeah, actually, I there's this joke, not joke, it's a real life story. Somebody from another bike shop asked me, obviously another brand, I won't say which brand. He say, hey, Leslie, if Pogacar rides this brand XYZ, would you buy it? I say, yes, I will buy. Huh? You will buy it? I say, yes, I will buy it, but I may not ride it.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's still Colnago
So
to
you
me.
still like the ride of the Colnago?
Yeah, Italians, Colnago, Pinarellos. Yeah,
Okay, we'll
yeah.
get into that. So, you yourself, you said you started off with fishing, and because of COVID and all that, you picked up cycling.
Yeah.
So you used your brother's Cannondale.
Yeah.
It's a super old school. It's just there. I took some photos.
992.
How is it even riding there? Like, how do you know? Do you know about road bikes, and how do you gain the knowledge? You do a lot of research.
I tell you, I'm such a noob, so all I know is bike with 2 wheels, Okay.
Yeah.
So obviously when I was younger, I rode some bikes, but I have no idea, in terms of the chain ring, cassette size, and I believe that was 8 speed. And the chain ring in front is 53/42, and behind is 12/21, 8 speed, okay? So imagine 42 to 21, it's a gear ratio of 2. I have no idea, And I tried to climb Bukit Utama Hill one time. And I don't know whether it's an old bike, old chain. I applied so much strength just to, get up. The chain broke. I said, okay. So after that, you learn as you buy new stuff. So I understand what's gear ratio and things like that. So I really like to climb. So all of my bikes I set up on 1-to-1 ratio per se. So it's always the compact 50-34 at the front. And back there, I'll have a 11-34. Yeah.
Then walk us through the journey, like how do you progress and the kind of bikes that you have? Because I can see outside from Velo Workshop, you displayed all your bikes. You even have one Pinarello there.
Yeah.
Tell us the journey, like progressing from and then why a Colnago. I know, of course, of Tadej and all that.
Okay, so after riding my brother's bike, the time was during lockdown, COVID. Yeah, so bikes was hard to come by, so to speak. Long waiting list and things like that. So my first bike I got, and it was really not even my size. I'm riding, for example, Track 52. The only available was 54. So normal, the sales guy said, I can ride. It's okay, I bought it. It was a Imonda ALR. I rode it. It was good, but I didn't like the geometry because it wasn't like, aero, kind of stuff. So I believe it's a H2 geometry. So after that, I sold that. I bought a Colnago V3, 105 mechanical. Then I ride. And then the next bike I saw was coincidentally inside Velo Works. They had a C64 Mape rim brake. So I knew Mape because those days my two brothers used to ride in the 80s and 90s. So I say, wow, this should hold. I mean, it's something like a limited run. So I said, maybe I should get it and just ride it. So I got the Mape rim brake, mechanical, super record shifting. And when I rode it, all of a sudden I said, wow, it's so comfortable, it's so compliant and things like that. I guess that was my first, riding I don't know what's the word they use, super bike or expensive bike. And I sort of got hooked. The next one is when Pogacar defended his Tour de France. Second year, they came up with a V3 RS in gold lettering. And I said, wow, I need to have this. So that I bought that. And then along the way, I believe I bought two other Cannondales. One was a Super 6 Evo and one was a Lab 71. Okay, I rode those bikes, nice bikes, but somehow or other I tend to like the feel of a Italian bike. When I compare it with a 64 V3 RS versus I'm not saying they're no good bikes, they're great bikes, but just my personal preference. Then after that, I told myself, okay, I think I'm just gonna start buying Colnago and Pinarello. So I didn't have Pinarello I haven't ridden a Pinarello before, so I've got it, and it's really, really a different league. You ride it, the compliance, the feel and things like that.
It's a Dogma F.
Yeah, Dogma F, the previous model, not the latest one, previous generation. And then when they launched the V4 RS Team Edition, really spared no expense. I got the whole bike down to detail. Whatever Pogi has, it has to be on the bike. So the only final missing piece, hopefully arrive next month, is the NV handlebar. So that. And then finally, I think this is probably my 10th bike, if I count it correctly. Yeah, this is my 10th bike. And right now, like I said, still waiting for the next limited edition, whatever Pogacar is riding.
Just now when we were filming the bureaus of you riding, and then you let me ride your V4 RS for a bit. You run, so that's exact replica, like a 1-to-1, except the handlebars, right? Of what Pogi has.
Yeah, I mean, okay, crank length is the same 165. Frame is the same 485. I believe Pogi runs 130 stem. I'm riding 100 because he's...
He has to fit you anyway, right?
Yeah, he's 4 cm taller than me. I'm 172, he's 176. Obviously, chainring, he rides a bigger one, like 55, 40 or something. But cassette, I believe, is the same. But I'm riding a 50-34. But apart from that, down to the carbon tie, the absolute black, frames and gears, even the saddle, Pro Logo Nago.
Oh, even the frames and gears?
Yes.
Gears. I noticed you had frames and gears, but I didn't know it was also his spec.
Yeah. One more thing I don't have is his bottom bracket. I think he used a blue color bicotic or something. I don't have that yet. Yeah.
Okay. So when I was riding your bike, even it was a 28 millimeter tubeless Conti GP 5000 TT.
TTT, yeah.
And I was like, wow, so compliant, because I'm old school. And I've always bragged about this on my podcast where I run high pressure and on clinchers. And when I rode that, wow, so smooth, man. And it's what, 50 PSI?
I ride 60.
Yeah.
My weight is hovering between 63, 65 kilos. Yeah.
Wow, I might be convinced with the tubeless setup, man.
It's definitely comfortable and faster. But tubeless, the hassle is you keep on have to put up, refill the sealants.
How often do you refill them?
2 to 3 months.
Okay, but you ride quite a lot?
Yeah, I try to ride every day if I can.
Every day?
Yeah.
So what's your mileage to date? Do you know?
No.
We are approaching the year end.
Okay, if I remember Strava, last I checked, is just below 10,000 kilometers. But I like to climb, like I mentioned. So I believe I'm touching close to 140,000 elevation.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
you've been to a few places to ride Stelvio. You were telling me just now we were having breakfast outside. The incident when you were climbing, wanting to go to Stelvio, right? Ended up somewhere else. Want to share that a little bit?
Yeah, it was quite funny. I went with a bunch of friends. We went to Dolomites, beautiful place. I'm going again next year for the Sella Ronda Bike Day. So we rode Dolomites. Then we went to Stelvio. And those who've been to Stelvio, there's 3 ways to go up. One is Bomio. A lot of people do that. The other one is via the Swiss side Umbriel. And the one is the most epic one is the one with 48 switchbacks. That one is from Prato Alo. So we were supposed to ride that route, but unfortunately they were snowing in June, right? So that route was closed. You can't even go up. So another option is to take the Umbriel way. That means right from Italy across Switzerland. Quite cool. You just ride across the border and just say ciao. And, don't even need to bring a passport.
Yeah.
And so my friends was telling me, you got to go up between a certain time, otherwise they won't allow you to go up. So I was really going full gas, right? Full gas. And I missed a turn. I missed a turn. I was supposed to turn left and go up. I missed a turn and I was just riding. And then finally, there were some climbs. And finally, I reached the summit. I look around and say, this is not Stelvio, right? And at the time, there was no phone coverage. And so I actually went to the wrong place, climbed up this Offen Pass, I think in Switzerland. So, okay, backtrack, asked a bit locals there. They said, oh, Stelvio is that side. So descend, and it was really cold during descent. I was shivering, right? Didn't really, didn't really dress properly for the weather. So finally managed to find that small turn up from Umbriel. So I started climbing the first maybe 4 kilometers. Then obviously fatigue sets in because I look at my Strava, I really clocked in like 1,500, 1,600 elevation. And that climb itself was another 1,000 plus, if I'm not mistaken. So I was worried. I said, Leslie, what if you don't have enough left in the tank to go back, right? So I decided to abandon. And that's why next year, I plan to get it right. Don't miss the turn. Go up from Prato Alo, come down to Umbriel, and then go up again and back down that 48 switchback.
So this one turn is very costly of missing the turn. Now you need to go back again this year to do it.
True.
So I asked you, how come you didn't have a Garmin or a map loaded onto this route? What was the reason that you didn't?
I guess it's creature of habit. All my rides I don't follow. It's more like follow a friend or I roughly know the routes. And also like places like, for example, Wuling. There's only one road up with support car and things like that. So again, maybe, like I said, I should have, but I did not.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So moral of the story is, if there's a feature there, use it.
Okay, so yes, today's episode, of course, is this Fleur de Lys limited edition bike. Maybe when I was coming up to the VeloWorks shop, I saw you lifting up the bike. You were not rolling it, and then I was laughing. I was like, why are you not rolling? He said, yeah, this bike cannot touch the floor. So this bike is for display only, not to be ridden.
So far, no. I've never ridden it. You haven't even touched any tarmac yet. So it's like, after this, I'm going to lift it to my car, bring home, lift it from the car park back to my unit. Yeah.
Okay.
So will I plan to ride it? Maybe, maybe not. But I'm happy to just stare at it every day.
So you don't need a TV lah. This will be the TV.
Yeah. Like some people have a feature wall in their house. So this is my Van Gogh, so to speak.
Wow. Okay. Speaking of Van Gogh, can we disclose the price? What's the retail on this one?
I believe it's going for 23,000 euro.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the price.
If it's not a Fleur de Lys version, like a normal C68, how much would that be in this setup?
In this setup, okay, let's say Shimano with NV, my guess is probably slightly less than half of that.
Okay,
Yeah,
half.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
What's the buying process? Why? Okay, maybe I shouldn't ask why do you buy this, but tell us about this buying process and what's so good about this bike.
Okay, I've ridden a C68 before. Again, thanks to Henry, he let me try out his, and because I've ridden a C64 before, and I've got a V4RS, so it's right in a sweet spot in the middle. It's comfortable, and it's also you can ride it fast, you can climb on it. But I thought at that point in time, I said I already have a V4RS, I have a C64. Doesn't make sense to have something right in the middle. But when this one came out, and especially when Pogačar rode it on stage for the Tour de France presentation this year, and I look at it, I say, wow, I think I want to get this, right? Yeah, and especially limited edition and things like that. And so I reached out to the local distributor for Malaysia, Angi Cycle, or you guys probably know them as Pedal Sport. The boss was kind enough, Ben, thanks Ben, to help me get this.
Yeah. So was it like a long wait, and does it mean that you have the money to pay for it? You'll get it because it's so limited. It's like only 100. In the world.
That's right. They couldn't commit because it's not like normal bikes where you place an order, tell them what size, what color. This one is I don't know how they allocate it, right? So once he got allocation, he reached out to me and said, yeah, I've got one. And that's how the process went.
It's like buying a Rolex.
Yeah, so to speak. So I'm still waiting for the Pogačar V4RS limited edition, the one he rode to win the rainbow jersey. So I believe Henry himself say he's ordered one inbound in January. And I've got a call from Pedal Sport. They say, hey, we're also getting one your size inbound. So like I said, until I get confirmation, Yeah.
So in the car when you were driving me also, you were telling me, you asked me, do you know what does the 64, 68 stand
Yeah,
for? Maybe
yeah.
you want to share with our audience for those who don't know. What
Yeah,
does it mean?
okay. So Colnago has basically two range. Okay, obviously they have more, but right now there's a C series and a V, right? Okay, sorry, three. Now we have the Y. Okay,
yeah.
let's not go there. So the C until today, it's still handmade in Cambiago with carbon lux. That means it's made in Italy. Whereas the rest of it, or the rest of other bikes, is like mass-produced carbon monocoque out of a factory in the Far East. Yeah. So the number denotes their year of operation in existence, so to speak. So for example, the C64 was after 64 years, they came up with it. Likewise, C68. Yeah. So I'm not sure whether they're going to come up with a 71, 72 down the road. Yeah.
So C68 is still handmade in Italy.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in terms of, you've ridden a 68 before,
Yes.
64, V4.
Yeah.
Maybe you can share a bit of the riding experience between all these three bikes. How does it differ from one another? Maybe someone who is watching might want to buy a Colnago, they don't know which one to buy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I think it all starts from number one, what type of cycling you like to do? You see, some people want to ride flats, ride fast, right? So very simple, get an aero bike, right? Some people say, oh, I like to climb, then don't get an aero bike, get a climbing bike. But today, thankfully, there's some, they call it all-round rounder, like a Dogma F and things like that. So I think that's the first thing is, what do you want to ride it for? Frame is one thing. I believe the other thing is the group set, regardless of what brand. The gearing ratio has to suit your cadence, your riding style. And last but not least, when people say this bike is fast, it is actually the wheel set, not only the bike. The wheel set plays a part as well. So it's like if you can get all three, dots joined to your cycling preference, I think then you will really enjoy riding the bike. Yeah.
Okay. What do you think of the new Y series?
Well, a lot of people ask me. My first answer is I'm not a big fan of aero bikes, right? Because I like to climb, right? So, I've not seen it in flash. I've never ridden it, so I don't think I'm in a position to comment. But the design is, you either like it or hate it. It's radical. I'm not saying it's no good, but some people love it. Some of my friends say, yeah, it's nice. Some say, no. So again, to each his own. Yeah.
Do you like it? Based on pictures?
No.
Oh no! But Pogacar is probably gonna ride it, man. You gotta get this one. Are you gonna get it if it comes out?
No, I'll probably get no. Like I said, it's not for me. It's
Okay.
not for me. Yeah.
Okay. I want to run through the specs of this one and what's so special. Some special things on this.
Okay. It's like any other C68 except that it's really customized with the color scheme. There's a YouTube from Colnago that says it takes 29 man hours just to do up the frame because it's all handmade. They apply the gold lilies on the top there, and when I saw it, I was really impressed. Like in terms of the individual attention to detail. For example, this standard carbon tie. It has a Colnago, logo here. Then down here they have a small Tour de France limited edition logo on a ceramic split pulley. And this NV says 4.5. Traditionally you have 3 NVs. They only did one and they put a Tour de France logo. Saddle is personalized. The handle, the top there, what do you call it?
The cap.
The cap.
Yeah.
So
Stamp
individualized Tour de France, gold spokes, So it's like something that you can't just walk into a shop and buy, I guess.
Yeah. So it's very special, 75th.
Yeah, I was
Bike
lucky
made.
with the number because couldn't pick what serial number you're gonna get, right?
Are you gonna put paint protection on this?
No, because I don't plan to ride it now. Yeah, maybe if I plan to ride it one day, I may, but it'll not look good because if you look at the paint work on it, so it should be like appreciated in its current form, so to speak. Yeah.
Unfortunately, because this bike will not be ridden, so when we took the B-rolls of Leslie riding, it's on the V4S. So if people are going to comment on my video, why are you not riding? That's the reason why you're probably not going to use this. Okay, anything else you would like to share about this bike?
Well, nothing. Like I said, I haven't ridden it. Like I said, I believe it should ride like any other C68. Yeah, with NV wheels, with a Dura Ace carbon tie setup.
Yeah.
yeah.
And on your V4RS, which is your main bike that you use, you also have NVs. That's a
Yes.
4.5, right?
Yeah, 4.5. Yeah.
Have you ridden any other different wheels?
Oh yes, I've got. Okay, let's start with Campis. I've ridden the Bora Ultra, right? Bora WTO, Bora Ultra WTO, the previous model. Hyperon Ultras is on my V3RS. Then I've the Bora Ultra C23 on my Dogma. I've ridden Zip 353s. I mean, I've bought it. What else? I've got those standard aluminium rims that come
Yeah.
standard. Let's see what other wheels.
Any specialized in the inventory?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
So in terms of all the wheels, looks like you've had a very wide range.
Yeah.
Which is the best?
Envy.
Envies?
Yeah,
I'm also on Envies.
Okay. Yeah. And a lot of people say, oh, it's 50, 56, right?
Yeah.
4.5. I said, no issue going up Dolomites, no issue going up Intanon, right? So that's how it is in terms of the technology they put in there. And if you ride it, you rode it before.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Very blunted. Very nice.
Very
smooth.
nice, buttery smooth, and it carries speed very, very well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have a Chris King on that one?
Yes, I got Chris King on that.
Yes,
Yeah.
but Pogacar, does he ride Chris King?
I think he rides inner drive like this.
Inner drive,
Yeah,
okay.
because
Have you tried? Why didn't you put inner drive on that one?
Well, I mean, I heard of this thing called Chris King, so I told myself, okay lah, if I'm gonna buy an NV, just put a Chris King there lah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to share before we go on to the spicy Instagram questions?
I think not much lah.
Okay, so let's move on to the Instagram questions. My camera might overheat. Looks like the bar is quite high, so we will try to push through.
Okay,
and
sure.
see what happens. Can I ask personal questions? Some personal questions like what do you do for a living?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was the first question. What do you do for a living to afford all these bikes?
Oh, okay. I used to work in the IT software industry. A company called SAP.
Yeah.
I started with that. Then I got transferred to Singapore in '06. Worked there for a while, and then I joined another software company that's since been acquired by Info. Okay, and my final company, I was there 12 years. Final company was a IT distribution company called Tech Data. I was there for 7 years. I was looking after the Oracle side of the business. So, answer the question, yes, I work in the IT software distribution industry.
Maybe motivation for the younger kids out there who who want to afford this kind of bikes. We've got Jackie here. He helped me edit videos also, film videos.
Okay, motivation. Well, I mean, the old saying is work harder. Right? I'm not saying you don't work harder, but sometimes I won't even say work smarter. It's like, okay, I always say this. You know, Formula One, got 20 drivers, okay? And I believe every single driver is world class, right? Why do some win more often than the other? It's the vehicle they drive on. So I guess the job you do, or the company you are, or the product you sell, or the services you offer, what is the returns? Okay, I give you an example. I can do the same thing in Malaysia, or I can do the same thing in Singapore. Which one will pay more? Right? You're gonna have the same quotas. You're gonna have the same quarterly pressure. You're gonna have the same KPIs. So I'm not saying that everybody go to Singapore, but think of elevating yourself from your current vehicle or platform to something that get you better returns, if I may say that. And I always share with the younger people is whatever you're doing, there's two important things that you need to have: knowledge and network. If you're not getting either of this in your current job, current role, it's time to move on. Because otherwise you'll just be in the same cycle year in, year out. For example, like I share with some bike mechanics, they're great. They can build up a bike. I say, okay, how many bikes can you build in a day? Okay, and then what? In that sense, right? So maybe they elevate themselves to acquire new skills. That sort of improve their current level or status.
Do you think a bit of luck helps?
Yes, most certainly luck, and also can I call willingness to take risk. Yeah, because if you do not, and every time you just stay in your own comfort zone, right? And that's where you're gonna be, I suppose.
Wow, this show becoming a motivational channel already. Okay. Let's go back to bicycle. Okay. Okay. Next question. How many bikes do you have in total, and what is the total damage? This is very scary. Let's go.
Well, COVID till now, I mentioned I bought 10 bikes. I sold off 3, so I still have 7. Total damage, I need to ask my accountant to pull up the Excel.
Is it enough to pay for a flat in Malaysia? The amount of bikes that you have.
Better not comment on that.
Okay, so it's expensive lah. Okay, to the person who's asking this question. What inspired you to collect bikes?
I did golf before. I fished before, and now I'm cycling. And out of these 3, I like cycling the best is because you can do it anytime. You can do it alone. And it's like I see my health improving each time I cycle, So that to me, it's worth more than, whatever money, rather than you don't look after your health, then you go ill, then you spend a fortune to try to get yourself healthy. So to me, it's like, also like, those stories where people say they join a gym, they pay for private private lessons. So when you invest in something, you want to get ROI, right? So to me, it's like, hey, Leslie, you spend so much on this bike, better go and ride it more often. So it's like something motivational for me.
But so now that your bike is like a 1-to-1 replica, or almost 98%, what's the feeling like riding this world tour? This guy's a champion and riding his bike that's almost a replica. How can you explain that feeling?
Well, it's certainly something that cyclists we could do because, for example, you cannot buy Max Verstappen or Lewis Hamilton's car. You cannot buy Valentino Rossi's bikes, right? It's not available. But for people like us, whatever the pros are riding, you can ride it. So at least you know what equipment or they are riding on. And it's pretty addictive, I would say. Pretty addictive once you start riding on those type of equipment.
And you've done a few races also. What's your latest race? And maybe you want to share some racing.
Okay, I've done not much. Like I said, I mainly like to climb, so I do those KOMs like Fraser's, Cameron. Nothing much to write home about, right? But there was one Le Tap this year, Malacca, 70 kilometer, I believe. I rode that, and I was riding the V4 RS, and that really convinced me it was a fast bike because I could keep up with the peloton, throughout. And the final climb, I believe I was second. Then came down 2 turns to the finish line. Managed to finish 29 out of 1,200 participants. So I think, like I said, then I told myself, hey, this bike is really fast, and all my training was, paid off. But the scary part was there's lots of crashes. So it's one of my worry, especially when it's raining. I try not to race, and even the Lecas one at night, my eyesight is not that good. I've short-sighted, astigmatism, long-sighted, and with rain I gotta wear sunglasses with inserts, for my prescription. That's why a lot of people, hey, why don't you buy Skicon? Or finally Skicon came with the latest one with the insert, so I got it. So to me, it's safety over anything else.
Do you so the V4 RS is the bike that you mainly use for races and all that?
Mainly used for travel. It's my main bike, the one that I really enjoy because it gives me the kind of responsiveness, the kind of thing that I want from that bike.
So you did the Lecas race recently?
I did not.
Okay.
I signed up, but I did not attend.
Because of the rain?
And I was at home watching Pogacar won that final monument. What was it? Lombardia? I was at home watching him win Lombardia.
So you cannot miss that.
It
you
was
missed the race by watching
Pogacar and the race. I said I watch Pogacar.
Okay. I actually had a question, but I kind of forgot. Sorry, my brain froze a little bit. Oh yes, okay. So you primarily wear your Maglia Rosa kit, all in pink, helmet also pink.
Yeah, I won't say I wear it all the time. It's one of my little party tricks, right? So when I get invited for some events, group ride, just show up there and just to be a little bit different, I suppose, stand out from the crowd.
You met one of my friends who came just now, and then we have a cycling group here, and then I remember them sharing some photos of you. You were chilling at some mamak somewhere after a ride, all in your pink kit, and they snapped a photo of you, and then they was like, wow, look at this guy, his bike is like a Pogacar bike, he even has the Maglia Rosa down to his helmet and shoes, even all your shoes are the DMT shoes.
Yes.
How does those shoes feel on the bike? Because it's like a knitted top, right?
Yeah, it's really, really good. It's really, really good, the DMT shoes, I gotta say. It's really good. In fact, talking about the Maglia Rosa, this year when I went to Dolomites, I was dressed up all in pink, and even the locals, the Italians came to me and wanted to take picture with me, So, and I believe one guy actually came up with a YouTube of me. I mean, he was and he mentioned that this guy is wearing Maglia Rosa. I think it's Italian and he's from Malaysia because we spoke a bit. So it's like you with your mask, I suppose. Because, hey, the guy with the mask. Oh, the guy in the pink guy. So it's just something.
Would you be able to recognize me if I were not wearing my mask? Like in normal civilian clothes?
No.
Okay,
no.
so that's the point.
Yeah,
I don't want people to recognize you. Okay.
Yeah, in fact, that day I was riding another group ride and I wasn't wearing pink. I was wearing a Pogacar's rainbow and somebody came up to me and said, excuse me, are you the pink guy? I said, yeah. So
people actually recognize you?
Some of them do. I mean, with the pink, obviously.
Yeah.
They know,
so on the roads, do they come and stop you and talk to you about your bike and all that?
I won't say they recognize me because I'm decked up all in like Pogacar kit. Where a lot of times when I cycle, I get shouts of Pogacar, Pogacar.
Where's your favorite route to ride? You like to do all hills?
Oh, my favorite has to be Gotong. I love
Gotong?
climbing Gotong. Yeah.
Genting Sempah.
No, Genting, but from Selayang, you can take Evian. Evian to Batang Kali, then there's a 15-kilometer climb up to foot of Gotong.
Yeah.
They call it Gotong. So I really enjoy that route.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any like GCE flat rides? Do you like to do
I
that?
used to do a lot of that, but like I said, I like to climb. So rollings I will do, but I'm more like take out the suffering. Yeah.
Okay. And you worked in Singapore by the time you haven't ridden there yet?
No.
Have you ridden in Singapore before?
No, not yet. I look forward to one day, I've got some friends there, now that I know you, I got some friends there, so maybe we do a round island ride.
Sorry, no climbs for you lah.
Yeah, but I've been warned, you cannot cycle more than 5 in a group. 10 in a group. And they say, Leslie, just be prepared to stop every don't know how many for traffic lights.
We cannot give you the 1,000 over meter elevation that you want. But I think, thank you, Leslie, for reaching out to me and asking me to film your bikes. I think you have a very beautiful inventory of all your Colnagos here. And hopefully one time, if I get the chance, I come out, if you can let me ride one of your Colnagos.
Yeah, the offer stands. So happen we have same size. We took a V4 for a spin. I say, hey, look, why stop there? Come next week, come next trip. Just try all of them. Then you can be a reviewer as well.
And we also talked about one topic. So I told you I have the look, and I was telling you like, look, a bit hard to get third-party parts and things like that. And you also agreed. You said, if given a chance, you probably wouldn't want. It's not a wise decision to buy a bike that's so unique because first of all, you can't sell them easily, and also parts are hard to come by, right?
Yeah.
So you want to share some of your thoughts about that?
Well, I hope I don't offend or step on anybody's toes. I mean, I learned this during my previous job, when I was selling software. So I have clients in the luxury fashion. So watches, okay, what are the top 3 brands for watches? Rolex, Audemars Piguet, Patek Philippe, right?
Yep.
So these are what we call mainstream brands. Likewise, handbags, right? You got your Hermes, you got your Chanel, you got your Dior, okay, or maybe LV. So bikes, I believe, if you want to buy, you should buy these mainstream brands. Especially people like me who like to buy and sell, because I'm not saying the other brands are no good. They're good, but they may not be a big captive market for resale in that sense. So
not as liquid also.
Yeah, so that's just my opinion. I'm not saying the bikes are no good. I mean, they got great bikes, but to me, I'm not buying one bike for life, right? Yeah, I mean, I learned the hard way, I guess, with cars as well. Those days I bought a French car. Oh, I tell you, it took forever to sell it, right?
Yeah.
So I tell you, want to buy a European car, get Italian or get German, right?
Yeah. That's why in one of my videos, I was telling that I bought this Look 795, and I said that the moment I walked out of that bike shop with that Look, right, immediately I think the value has depreciated by at least half. Because, if I want to sell it tomorrow and I'm desperate to get rid of it, right, I need to drop the price.
Yes.
Because nobody is going to be thinking, hey, I'm dreaming of buying a Look. It looks nice and stuff, but I don't think people nowadays are like on the SL8s, the Pinas and all that. I think more liquid. easy to sell. So I think that's some consideration that people want to think of if you are the kind of cyclist that want to buy and sell. Probably
true.
don't want to get something too specialized.
Yeah.
And I asked you, will you get a Bastion or a, Passoni?
No.
And the sole reason.
Again, same rationale. Okay, because if I buy or anybody buys a Passoni or Bastion, obviously it's custom made for you. So when you want to sell it, who want to buy a second-hand custom bike? Unless I want to keep it for life, right? And again, like I say, no disrespect, this one is handmade in Cambiago, right? So if I want to buy a handmade bike, I will buy an Italian handmade bike. I mean, no disrespect, I'm not putting anybody down. That's just me. Yeah.
A joke also that I was talking to one of my cycling friends. They say, "Wow, all these bikes say handmade in this country. Right? But who are the workers in there? They might not be Italian.
Possible.
They might be from some neighboring country or cheap labor that they're employing."
So next June when I am going Dolomites again, one of the itinerary is to go and visit Colnago Cambiago, because it's just, I live 30 minutes from Milan. So I'll go and check who are the workers behind.
Hey, maybe they know you are coming, then they go and shove all the Italians in there, and then they ask the other guys, "Hey, don't come to work today."
Hey, Colnago, if you are listening, I'm coming. Okay.
They're gonna put the place very nicely for you.
Make sure they all learn Italian.
But again, Leslie, thank you so much again.
Thanks for coming.
Let's keep in touch, and we will ride soon.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, buddy.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Okay, cool, done.
Okay.
Good 40 minutes.
Yeah. Okay.